Welcome back, YouTube. It's your boy Nunez, aka Vintage Pokemon Hunter, and look what we found hunting today. It's a very long story behind all of this lot that I just came across today. Just all old WTC cards, a couple Japanese cards. So I'm saying a lot of these cards range from anywhere from 96 to about 2000, 2001. So last week on Facebook Marketplace, I seen these three cards up for sale that I purchased. So Charizard, a Mewtwo, and a Gyarados. And I did inspect them, and you could see here on the Charizard there's some whitening, just a little bit of whitening on the corner. I'm assuming it's just from being in a binder. You could see it very slightly on the edge, but the rest of the card is perfect. The Holo is absolutely perfect. The back, literally no flaws. So I'm definitely going to submit this to be graded. So I got these three for $80. That was the deal. It's like, okay, it's worth it. The Charizard itself is probably worth just more than that. So then the same gentleman contacted me and said, hey, I found a bunch of other stuff that I have as well for sale. Are you interested? And I estimated it at probably a little more than $100 or so. Just of the condition of the cards, what cards they are, the condition of them. I'd say it's definitely worth more than 100, but I offered him 100 just to be realistic with it, of just this. Then I forgot that he had this PSA graded card. It's a Beckett actually. It's an old school Beckett graded card. This card is a Neo 2 Japanese promo, it's a reverse holo. I believe this is from 2000. It's either 2000 or 2001, something like that. And I looked it up, this card, this right here, just this itself, $80. Okay, so back to the story of how I obtained the rest of these today, because I got these three last week. So the gentleman contacted me last night after I messaged him and I said, hey, I have 80. I'll do it tomorrow. Would you do 80 on it? And he goes, I have a proposition for you. I need a ride up north. So he's from down south, central New Jersey, and he needed a ride up north to Newark, which is not central New Jersey. It's definitely northern New Jersey, but not too far up north. It's by New York City. So it's about an hour away from where he was located, and I had to go pick him up. He asked me if I could give him a ride from where he was to Newark. Just had to drop him off. He would give me gas and tolls, and I could have this entire lot. That was the proposition. So, of course, I said, oh, well, okay. A lot of people would be a little sketched out about that, okay, well, but the thing is, I met this guy already, so I knew he was a legit dude. He just happened to have needed a ride, and I guess didn't want to spend 100 plus on an Uber. So now we're going to get into, let's put my trusty gloves on because I don't want to mess with all these old cards. But I want to see the quality of all of these. Again, this is perfect. We already know. So again, I got this and every single card in these two stacks today for absolutely free. This guy, he paid me to do it pretty much. He put $20 in gas in my car. He paid for my tolls, and he gave me his entire stack of cards. So at the top here, you see a dark Blastoise and a dark Charizard. And let's see what condition these cards are in. And honestly, I don't even know how people go about... Yeah, you know what? People want to be super crazy with the gloves. I ain't fucking with the gloves. This shit is way too much. We're just going to get right bare bone into this bit. But we are getting rid of every single one, and we're going to inspect it under the light. So this Dark Blastoise, as you can see on the side here, there's some whitening. The holo is super clean, though. Just a little bit of whitening on the front. But the back of this the back of this Blastoise is chopped. Look at that shit. Like fix that. How did you nick that bad? What is happening here? Just a little bit of whitening here, and on that same edge that it is messed up on the front. But again, these cards, absolutely free. So, I mean, even, I don't know yet. I got to really do my research and see if it's something that would be worth getting graded. But it's definitely something worth re-sleeving and trying to keep, just intact. So I'm going to go back and forth between the stacks. So this is a dark Charizard. And this was on top of the deck, and I actually put this in a brand new sleeve before, but if you look at this card is fucking mint. This card is literally, I don't see a fucking flaw on it. I don't see any whitening. Not on the back, not on the front. I'm being super careful with it as I get it back into the sleeve because I'm 100% grading this guy. I could tell you that off rip. So then here to Ditto. It's a Holo Ditto from the Fossil set. Let's see what condition this guy is in. It's looking pretty good. This front looks clean. I don't see any issues at all under this light here. In the back too, like it's a little bit, as you see here on the bottom right, a little nick, but yeah, it's a clean card. So we're gonna get rid of these old dusty ass sleeves that they were in for 20 years, put them in some brand new ones, and keep the quality of these guys. So I get the PSA Beckett card, whatever, put that out of frame. It's an old Japanese card. It's a Holo Sabrina's Gengar. And it's almost like I can't tell if that's just, yeah, is that a huge scratch on the Holo? Is that just this huge scratch right there going across? I believe so. Yeah, that's a shame. So this card's a little messed up. I'm not sure. Like, is that the art? Like, is that just bleeding out onto the card, or is that just a huge scratch? I just can't tell. It's looking more like a scratch. Still a beautiful card, though. Again, this entire lot is absolutely free, so regardless of any of what these are conditioner in, anything that it returns back would be a positive, I feel like. If these cards got a fucking PSA 6, it'd be worth it. A 5. This is a little bit of whitening here on the sides. And a little bit of whitening here on the bottom. But these are clean cards, man. These cards are fucking 20 years old. So for the most part, this guy did keep decent shape with them. And that Blastoise is a little fucked up on the back. So this is that same promo card here. This Beckett card. But obviously he got one that was graded. Assuming this guy liked Charizard a lot back in the day. So let's see what kind of condition this one's in. Looks decent shape. There's a little nick up here. The rest of it seems to be in really decent shape. Now we got Rocket's Sneak Attack Trainer card. Ah, this one's bent up. This one is like bent up on the top here. And we're not even gonna bother putting this one in a new sleeve. That could stay in its old sleeve. And here we got a Mewtwo promo card. Little chip up front. Yeah, this isn't really worth much. That can stay in its original sleeve here. Then we got 1, 2, and 3 Dark Dragonites. Insane. Let's see the quality on these guys. Like, this card is fucking mint. It's looking a little bit, there's a little bit of like a, I don't even know what that is, like an indent up here, maybe from being in a binder. A very little bit whitening on the edge. There's like a fucking imprint, damn it. And this card is fucking nice too, if not. Yeah, we'll still put that in a new sleeve though. Still a Dark Dragonite. And how about this second boy over here? How's this guy looking? This guy's got some real whitening on the sides here. See that? That's kind of like how the Charizard has it. This back is a little messed up too on the bottom here. Yeah, we're still going to replace the sleeve on this guy though. It's an older card. It's beautiful. still has some value to it. Even though it's got a little whitening on it, it's still a pretty nice card. The holo is intact. Let's get this card out as nicely as we can. Oh, I think this one's the cleanest one. So at least he had one that's super clean. It's a very little bit of whitening up here. Tiny bit. The back of this is a little bit of whitening on the bottom, but this third one was a charm, I guess. On the Dark Dragonites, the third one was clean. It's the colorless energy. It's in pretty decent shape. Rockets Moltres, Rockets Moltres, and Rockets Moltres. So you got the 3P of the Dragonites and the 3P of the Moltreses. Fucking insane. Like, this dude just gave me these. Like, okay, dude, I appreciate it. It's a little bit, you could tell that they were stored in a binder, a little bit of like warping on it, but these fucking cards are clean. Look at the front of this. And this a little bit on the top here. You can see there was a little fucked up on the top, and there's a little bit of warping on it, but the front and the back is pretty fucking clean on these Moltres. Put that one to the side. Let's check out the second one here. And the front of this seems to be pretty clean. A little bit of whitening on the front. Just that little bit of warping, as you could tell it was stored in the binder. Just a very tiny bit of white. Tiny, tiny bit of white here. That whitening's a killer just from the way you store shit, man. It's crazy. It really matters how you store shit. Shout out to my boy Wildebeest that my man Ryan fucking had, his father had shit stored properly, to say the least. I'm so mad that my parents were stupid and fucking didn't even care or none of that. My man had them in the fucking plastic savers, chilling, straight chilling in a box. I think this one is the best. Is it the second time in a row that the third card of the set is the cleanest one? This one's definitely the cleanest, and the third Dragonite was 100% the cleanest. Alright, back into this pile here. Another Here Comes Team Rocket trainer card. Pull another one from this just because I love this fucking card. Oh, I'm pissed that this one is fucked up condition. All of the edges are all fucked up. If you can see that closely. See, all the edges are real fucked up. Yeah, this one's staying in the old saver. I'm not even replacing that guy. Let's get back into this pile too again. Giovanni's Persian. Ooh, drop that right on the floor. Not even on the fucking table, right on the floor. And you know what's crazy? This card is fucking clean too. Except for this little nick right here, which I probably just fucking made happen. Because the rest of this card is clean as shit. We're getting it out of this old ass. Remember these? This is so fucking old school. I remember that material. Got a Giovanni's Persian. We'll throw them over on this pile. This pile is not getting much love. Entei. It's another reverse. I don't think this is a promo. I'm not sure. The front of this card is super clean. And so is the back. So, man, if I'd love to see like an appraisal on this. If anybody is really official, like an estimated so far of like what everything would be. Just a random assumption. If I were to just throw this lot right now on eBay, I'd say I'd go for at least a couple $100. There's no way when this one's fucked up. I'm about to dead ass pick up that sleeve that I just dropped on the floor for this, because this Chansey is chopped. Yeah, that's staying in its old sleeve. A lot of the chopped cards that aren't good, I'm going to keep in like a different pile. Like a lot of the ones that are in decent condition, if they're in decent condition, literally and like acceptable, they're getting submitted. Just because I literally, again, got this lot for fucking free. I got this entire lot of cards total for $60. If you really think about it. Because I spent, again, like I said, $80 on these 3 cards like a week or two ago, 10 days ago. Then this dude gave me $20 to put fucking gas in my car today and just to give him a ride. So I gave him a fucking ride an hour away, and this is what I got in fucking return, man. Like, this shit is fucking beautiful. Look at this card right here. It's beautiful, too. A very little bit of whitening. You could tell just because it was in the fucking binder. Because that's how most people store their shit. Ah, man. This fucking bottom is a little fucked up. Of course. That fucking Alakazam is beautiful on the front. Of course, the back's a little fucked up. The Dark Alakazam from the Rocket set. Here we have Japanese Fossil Articuno. That's not in very good condition either. It's a little fucked up on the top, on the sides. It's like a fucking stain on it and shit. Yeah, I'm grabbing this one again back off the floor. This one is no good. Blaine's Arcanine. This looks in a right shape, but again, just a little bit of whitening on the top, here on the sides. On the bottom, here. Oh, man. This is going to be one of those cards, like, you got to research, like, hey, is it worth it to grade it? Maybe. But I'll definitely put this one in a new sleeve. That'll get a new guy. We have another Gyarados, just like we sold me here. How's this one? Ooh. Oh, this is a base 2 Gyarados. This one looks like it's great shape. No flaws on that front. Just a little tiny bit of whitening here on the bottom and on the corner. That's a beautiful card too. That's what, like, just all of these cards are fucking, artwork is beautiful. Like, look at this Tyranitar. All of these are in great shape, especially the holos. I'm super excited that all of these holos are in great shape. It's just a little bit of the edge wear. I think this is the best Japanese card that I've gotten so far. This one is in fucking mint shape. And now I'm running out of the fucking... I just ran out of the clear back case, the sleeves. So now we're getting into the fucking pack ones. We're almost halfway through. Nah, we're a decent way through. Still have a fucking lot of cards left, though. So now we have Lieutenant Surge's Firo. And under the light, this thing is in fucking great shape. No issues on that front. A little bit of a nick up top here. But nice fucking shape. These, if it's not like the actual penny sleeves and it comes from the deck, you gotta like push them in a little bit to make sure they fit. Lieutenant Surge's Electabuzz. Ooh. Gotta be a bit more careful with that. Like, look at the fucking, how mint these cards are. I'm just ripping them out like it's a fucking brand new pack. There's a little bit of a nick on the top, but that's a fucking mint card, man. Like, that's getting submitted 100%. Like, there's no way it's not. Rocket Scyther. Pull that guy backwards out. Yeah, his fucking gym challenge, gym hero cards here that he has are fucking mint. Ah, a little bit of white on the bottom here. You see that? That fucking ruined how perfect that fucking card is. Chansey. It's a base 2-1. See the silvering? Just the white from the holo. Oh, this one is fucked up. Look at that. It's like a fucking cat. It's like literally like a cat scratched it. Yeah, I'm grabbing this back off the floor. This one is no good. So that's the judge, man. If it's in at least decent shape, and I'm going to resort these after this video, Like, I'm 100% going to have them be submitted to PSA or Beckett, whichever one I decide to go with. This Nidoking is super clean. I don't see a fucking issue on that front. How's the back? Really clean. Yeah, that one is really nice. Most of the time when I pull the front or the back, one or the other, it has a little bit of whitening on it. That one looked great. And of course, it's being a bitch getting in that sleeve. Because it's not perfect. Wow, it's another Nidoking right underneath it. Screw it. Oh, wow, another one right there. Hold on, so we got a 3P. It was almost a 3-3-3. So let's see. See what this Nidoking is, the second one here? What condition is this one in? This one's in fucking great shape too. Is this guy just like Nidoking? His fucking Nidokings are specifically mint. Like, bro, both of those are mint. Let's go. Those are beautiful cards. And what about this third one? We get 3 minty Nidokings? I believe so. A little bit. Oh, you could barely see it right there on the top. The white. A little bit. That back is beautiful too. Yeah, wow. This dude really liked his Nidokings, huh? And you know what's crazy? We're actually going to run out of sleeves here. I didn't even know how many cards I had here. Actually, crazy. I haven't counted. Dark Magneton. This is a beautiful card too. And this rocket says tiny white on the right. Tiny, tiny top right. A little bit on that bottom left. People look. These fucking card savers from 20 years ago are just so gross. Yeah, so for the rest of these, I have literally one more card saver left. This Articuno is just a regular card. Wow, that's actually pretty cool. It's a promo Articuno. Okay. I mean, I'll grab one. You know, I'm gonna grab a sleeve. And this Dark Machamp Rocket is going to be the last one that I'm able to put one of these sleeves on. A little bit of whitening here on the right, if you can see it there. The back looks pretty clean. On the bottom left there is a little white, and the bottom right's a little white. So, you know, a little bit of white. That's not a really mint card like those Nidokings just were in that Magneton, but still a decent shape for, again, a 20-plus-year-old card. So for the rest of these, we're not going to put into new sleeves, but we'll still go over the quality of them and see what we got. So this is a Japanese Delibird. I've never seen this card. This is pretty cool. About to clear the pile out. All right, so what's the rest of this pile? It's a Feraligatr, Japanese. It's in great shape, this front. And this back's got a little shit on it. Got a little gunk, whatever the fuck that is. Now it's better type shit. I'm going to try and be very careful with these cards that I know I need to get into sleeves. This is a Houndoom. On the bottom right, look at that. It's really fucked up on that bottom right. And last of this stacks, Dark Flareon, non-holo. Professor Oak's Revenge, I believe this is called. It's a dope card. I like that card a lot. Here we got another Giovanni's Persian. I guess this one he decided to not put into his sleeve. This one's still in great shape too. Wow, yeah. I gotta go grab some more sleeves and put these in. Now we have a Koga's Beedrill. Little tiny bit of whitening on the top. On the top right a little bit. A regular ass potion. Shout out to the potion trainer card. You already know what the hell's going on. Get the fuck out of here. We have a Ninetales. Even though this is worth shit, like the cheapest card pretty much that you can get holo base set, I really like this card. Something about this when I was younger. I really love this card. This card is actually really great condition. That shit is mint. Put that to the side. Here we have an Alakazam. Second to last card. What's the condition on this guy? No, it's not messed up on the holos. The holo looks great. It's a little whitening on the bottom right there. This back looks pretty clean too. A little bit on the top. A little tiny whitening on the top. But the Alakazam looks fucking clean. And the last card here is a Fossil Moltres. The condition on this card is honestly super clean. On the bottom, you see that little bit of whitening on the bottom. If you really look at it right here. In the back of it, same exact thing, just a little bit of whitening. But overall, super fucking clean. And again, this entire lot I got from the store that I told you before, from a gentleman I met on Facebook Marketplace who I bought off of 2 weeks ago who needed a ride, and I ended up getting this entire lot. So if you have an assumption of what this would cost, if it's worth it for me to submit all these to PSA, what are your thoughts on all of this? I appreciate you guys watching this video. Have a good one.